Hey guys, today we are going to be reading the next chapter in our Stink book, okay? Pretty sure the chapter that we left off on was called Extra Credit, because remember Stink took that test over the solar system and he failed it. So now we're going to read to see maybe he'll get some extra credit with that. So extra credit. Science time, said Mrs. D. Let's go over your test. Stink took out his test. He tried to cover up the big red X on the Pluto page with his elbow in case Nick, the new kid in front of him, turned around. Stink stared at the back of the new kid. His head looked a little like a small, almost round planet. Just then, Mrs. D got a call from the principal. Okay, class, everybody take out your math workbooks and open to page 101. Keep working while I go talk with Miss Tuxedo. Teacher got sent to the principal's office. Everybody snickered. Planet head Nick turned around. Nick showed Stink his test. Nick had a big, fat, red X on the Pluto page, just like Stink. I got skunked, said Planet Head. Me too, said Stink, lifting up his elbow. At my old school, said Nick, Pluto was still a planet. This is so not fair. Tell me about it. I was with the nurse getting my ears checked when Mrs. D told about the no Pluto rule. And nobody, not even my best friends Webster and Sophie of the L's, told me. You can call me Skunk, by the way, said Nick. And you can call me Stink, said Stink. I thought I was the only person on the planet with a smelly name. Nope. And guess what? I like smelly stuff, just like my name. Me too, said Stink. I was in a smelly sneaker contest at my old school, said Skunk. No way, said Stink. I got to judge a super smelly sneaker contest. I smelled a Duranian fruit one time, said Skunk. It's like the way worst smell in the world. Ooh, P.U., said Stink. I want to smell a corpse flower someday. Freaky deaky, said Skunk. Double freaky deaky, said Stink. At my old school, said Skunk, back when there were still 9 planets in the solar system, my science book had this neat trick about how to remember them. My very excellent mother just served us 9 pizzas, Stink and Skunk said at the same time. Now they'll have to think up of a new one, said Skunk, without the P for Pluto. Let's see, said Stink. How about my very excellent mother just served us nothing? Skunk cracked up. My very excellent mother just said, you nerd, Sophie said, joining. Many vampires eat mothballs, just so you know, piped up Webster. Those aren't even the right letter, said Skunk, chuckling. Many vampires, said Webster, eat macaroni jelly sandwiches, said Sophie. Unless naked, Stink finished. Skunk laughed. Hey, that doesn't even make sense. Wait, I got it, said Stink. My very educated monkey just spoke utter nonsense. Good one, said Skunk. You get extra credit for that one. I wish, said Stink. Hey, we should make up a new saying for real to remember the planets, including the 3 dwarf planets. You mean Ceres, Pluto, and Eris too? Asked Sophie. My brother says there's another one too, called Make, said Webster. Stink's head was just spinning. He wrote 11 letters across the top of his notebook. So those were the letters he wrote. Then scribbled down words. My very eager mad cat just scratched up nose-picking earwigs. Now Sophie and Webster tried. My very edible macaroni cheese just spit up nasty puking eyeballs. Oh! Stink and Skunk howled, then put their heads together and came up with another saying. My very energized mystery car just shot under 9 police escorts. That is so way good, said Sophie. When Mrs. D came back, kids were talking loud and letting the class guinea pigs run loose and shooting hoops in the trash can. Mrs. D blinked the lights. She clapped her hands 5 times. Class 2D took their seats and clapped their hands 5 times in response. Did anybody solve any problems while I was gone? Asked Mrs. D. Nobody said a word. Stink passed a note to his friends. Many Virginia excited math children just screwed up not practicing education. Skunk shot his hand up. We did! Stink and I solved a problem. Good for you, said Mrs. D. Which one was it? The Pluto problem. The Pluto problem? Mrs. D flipped through the pages of her teacher's edition math book. It's not a math problem, it's a science problem. Even better, said Mrs. D. It's time for science anyway. Stink and Skunk told the class all about the new saying they made up. Riley Rottenberger raised her right hand. She was wearing a shirt that said Space Cadet and calling ooh, ooh, like she had a major stomachache. Riley, do you have something you wanted to say? By now, Mrs. D should have known that Riley Rottenberger always had something to say. There's a real saying for the dwarf planet, said Riley. A girl made it up and won a contest, and it isn't about a mystery car or police. It's my very excellent magic carpet just sailed under 9 palace elephants. Thanks for letting us know, Riley. That's very creative. Stink and Skunk came up with a creative sentence too. Riley shrugged and made a sour ball face. Boys, come see me after class, said Mrs. D, and see what we can do about those red X's. All right, here is his comic book page. My very excellent mother just served us 9 pizzas. Mars. Question. Why does Stink want to play basketball on Mars? Answer. Boing. He could jump super high because the gravity on Mars is only 1/3 of that on Earth. Question. Why would Stink go mountain climbing on Mars? Answer. Because Olympus Mons, a Martian volcano, is 3 times as tall as Mount Everest. That must mean that a Yeti on Mars has 3 times as much hair. So that is the end of our 3rd chapter. Chapter 4 is called Miss Space Camp Know-It-All. I wonder what's going to happen next. Alrighty, guys, you have an awesome rest of your day. I'll see you later. Bye. I miss you all.